Ziggity zig, back with more Tales from the Ladder. This is a game sent by RuSH, which is actually a misnomer on the Tales from the Ladder because this is actually a tournament game. This was part of the Red Bull tournament that RuSH took place in, where he went up against our opponent up here in the top of Catalina of Bridence. Bridence? Good Bridence to you and your strange, antiquated methodologies of making organic units that only turn into your natural building placements. But RuSH was telling me a little bit about this game, so I know kind of what's going on. And oh, there we go. Okay, so he's got that. I was actually looking at, because RuSH is part of the Unseen Gaming clan, I think is the correct terminology there, and so that you can just sort of see the logo just there. I'll just zoom in. There it is. It's a cool little guy. But that's their old logo, and actually RuSH has been helping them develop a new logo, which actually looks quite cool. I shouldn't have said the actually. It does look quite cool. Pretty cool logo that they've got there. I have no idea anything about e-suba, electronic suba. So, it's like soba noodles, but more like a soba noodle that's made like a Subway sandwich. So it's a soba noodle. And it's electronic. So it's electronic Japanese noodles that actually contain roast beef, cheese, lettuce, and jalapeno peppers. Let's just move back to the game so I don't need to continue talking. So over here, we have Bridence, who is just pretty much just macroing up, just making sure that he's got a plan here. He's on 15 already, so I'm really be expecting the hatch to go down right about now. There it goes. Now, yeah, and this is when RuSH is asking if he's Masters EU, and Bridence is, well, yeah, High Masters EU is what RuSH is up against. Now, RuSH is actually, he's about to be getting into Masters. He's getting high Diamond. I'm Scrub Pasha. So he's pretty high into Diamond. He's been beating some Masters players, so last game I thought it's 2 base whole game. So these guys are just having a little bit of nice, kind of happy conversations, but what we're seeing here is a Reaper out, so maybe a little bit of just kind of a scout, maybe a possibility of harass, and then moving on past that, I would expect when you're going up against the Zerg, you just hoping for luck, should have 2 base instead. Oh, I think this is a second one of the games that they played, I think. Now there's the spawning pool in an interesting spot. Occasionally you see it sort of hidden in behind so it doesn't get picked up, but this is obviously stopping any kind of maneuver getting into the drone line. There goes the Reaper. And there goes the reactor on the side. Okay, so he's going reactor on the side, despite the fact that he's got just a little bit of gas right now. 3 in the gas, so after that first Reaper, is he going to make another Reaper after this whole thing? Not entirely sure. A couple diamond under, blah, 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 blah. They're still talking, I don't really care what they're saying anymore, but it does look like RuSH got pretty lucky just there, where he was able to scout the right spot right away, and there's the split going on by Bridence. Gets around there, so RuSH moving his way up here does see that there's no gas taken on either of these. The 2 overlords, no, it looks like just 1 overlord made its way over there to the left-hand side base, and oh, there we go. So Bridence is going to pull a few of the drones off the line in order to try to take out this Reaper. There's not all that much DPS on the Reaper there, but Bridence does choose to make a Spore Crawler, which is going to be, and even cancels out of the Spore Crawler, and so now goes right back into macro mode, knows that he's up against a Reaper, and so just gets out the 2 Zerglings to try to run a little bit back and forth, but he does have the 2 Queens out right now, so both bases are quite well defended. Now, there's this one Scouting Overlord that did scout the left-hand base where there was nothing there, and will be trying to move down to the next base, but RuSH, just to check the second location there. So now RuSH is getting a bunker and just a little bit more defense. This command center is probably going to move down to the second one, to the second base. The expansion, the factory is up. So now if you just look at it, it's pretty much just still a macro game going on up here with Bridence. No additional tech buildings, no even extractors just yet. There's layers starting up. Going to get a little bit of a creep tumor out there, taking a 3rd base as well. So RuSH is definitely a little bit in behind here. Getting the comsat. Or ComSat? No, wait. It's the orbital command, right, not ComSat, before moving the command center down to the second location. My throat's hurting a little bit. I was out all week. Part of my vacation was me going out and using my voice a whole lot. So, therefore, I'm a little bit behind in times, and my voice feels kind of crap. So we got a couple of Marines out here, so the Army supplies just a little bit. So just a little bit more defense right there for RuSH, but it's not going to do a huge amount of good. But now he's going to come up here, and RuSH is going to notice that there are 3 bases on their way. And this Reaper is going to see still no tech, still no gas. Is gas on the second? There we go. So we got gas in the second one, and there's the Roach Warren. So there's no gas in the main base, which seems kind of odd. So now knowing where RuSH is, you see Bridence with his overlords ready to go, just waiting to see if there's going to be any kind of medical, the medevacs, right. It's been a while since I've looked at this game, and I'm tired. So I'm tired and my voice hurts, and I haven't played in a while. Life sucks, get a helmet. So just basically waiting for any kind of maneuver from the Zerg coming up here. We got 2 queens actually on the front gate. So that speed for Lings is on its way still, so we're up to 3 bases, and it does look a little bit like, I think the macro is still definitely in Bridence's corner. When you look at the income, just there's, you got 42, so the income is a little bit higher, but when you're going up against the mules, as I think we're seeing a few mules, yeah, there's a mule drop as we speak, so the command center is going towards those, and not so much scanner sweeps, which is the bonus of putting out that Reaper, is the Reaper can allow you to get enough, there's the Baneling Nest, can get enough scouting information without having to use too much energy off of your orbital commands. And there's 2 there. So the 2 Evo chambers up at the top. This is all there is for the army, but again, knowing that it's just pretty much a single Reaper right now. You got 2 queens, or you got a queen in each base. The spine crawler, that was just a fake out, so now we're getting just about ready. And there's even 2, yeah, there's 2 queens down here at the base, so this is pretty much all for creep spread, going for melee attacks instead of missile attacks, so not too much worry of seeing any Hydralisks all that soon. There is, oh wow, so he's expanding with these, and then having the queens put another one down. That's quite awesome there. Here come the Hellions. Hellion Banshee Marines are coming out here, so no tech. There's a medevac on the way, so he might be kind of putting that in behind it. But just the speed of the Hellions and the defense of the Banshee, where the only thing that can really hit a Banshee is a queen. Here come the Hellbats. So the Banshees are pretty much clear to shoot at Roaches, Banelings, Zerglings, but with this many queens, I'm not expecting the Banshees to do quite as well as you'd expect. These Banelings are really doing a bit of a number. These Hellions got a little bit, or the Hellbats got maybe just a little bit timed around on the wrong side of things. Keeping a couple of the Hellbats as Hellions just to get, I believe they get more, yeah, they get more range as the Hellions than as the Hellbats. And this is pretty much crunching all of Bridence's units right here, but Bridence is making another 20 Zerglings on the way, 3 Roaches on the way. It is doing quite a... You'd think it would be doing something into the economy, but it's not really stopping Bridence all that much, just because the macroing and the ability to continue macroing in the previous 2 bases. However, cutting off the 3rd, that's a big shot right there. And then he's just having a quick look, another scan down the stairs just to make sure that he's down the ramp stairs, whatever. I don't think the Hellions would really make their way down the stairs. A couple of Banelings up there, and they know that they can do a lot of damage, but they just need to be able to be in the right positioning. So a couple of these scans in here, and in behind this, he's still making a few more Banshees. I think the Hellions are really doing most of the work here, so I would recommend that for RuSH just to continue making those. Now the big problem is behind this. I think RuSH would want to be taking a 3rd base. I'm not really seeing that quite in development. There it is. There's the 3rd base is on the way, just being built, but it's just not quite going to be enough because he's still in behind production of Bridence. It's only on 2 base, but just the number of workers you see there is just fully saturated. Oh yeah, he's got way more than anything over there. He's got 30 on that one base. But now it's only Roaches right now. There's no sneaking around going in. Well, as I say sneaking around, but I don't think RuSH is aware that that base has been already rebuilt. He does have a very small force, not a very large force is coming in here. And this is when Bridence takes the opportunity to get all the units all together, and there's the Mutalisk. But if you look at the gas and the money, RuSH, and were he able to continue traveling this out, and I think, yeah, seeing that large army, the Mutalisk come towards, that would be the time when you run for it, because right now that is a big sway in the other direction. Here's going to be another creep tumor, I think, but, oh, and here's an SCV that got caught a little bit out of position. And here's another SCV, so it looks to me like maybe some of these could be rallied in the wrong direction. Here comes some Mutalisks are coming up here, and they're going to be able to take out these Hellions. These Hellions are completely useless. This tech lab did get squished by one of the, I think it's an Overseer, has that ability to just stop tech on anything. And there's another SCV running off to his death. So just not quite able to really get back into his game here is RuSH. And he's hoping that he's got enough, but the problem now is that there's such a large army right now. Bridence now is out in front of an army, out in front with macro materials. There goes that. Yeah, that was the last one. So 68 harvesters, but yeah, I think a few mules drop down. Here comes the double engineering bay. Double engineering bay at 14 minutes in might not be the best maneuver, and I think what really needed to happen in behind that attack for RuSH was a lot of tech and definitely an expansion or two. Just getting in behind that. Now we've got centrifugal hooks. We're gonna have fast banelings. We're gonna have carapace 2 and melee 2. So going for melee on the ground, which is why you're not seeing much outside of the Zerglings. So we got speedy Zerglings and the banelings. It's really helping out. The roaches are just sort of there for a little bit of range, but he's not working on the range as so far as an upgrade. And then we're getting the there we go. So that's a number. That's a lot of mutalisks right now. RuSH is trying for a bit of a strange base race right here, but they're even ground units to ground units. I think Bridence does have enough just there, but he is getting a little bit. Yeah, one small supply cap did manage to pick off an overlord, but the problem is the rest of this is now. Oh, we have some stim marines moving in here, and they would have been much better off going up against these mutalisks. They picked up a few of the guys in behind, and there we go. And the medevacs are now there in the range, but now with these amount of banelings and mutalisks, so the muta-baneling ball going up against this, it's a very small number of units at the moment, and these marines were just caught a little bit out of position, and now I don't think they're going to have many options here. I don't think they have combat shields. These speedlings are just going to slowly pick them off each at a time. There come the Widow Mines could not quite dip in time, but they were able to take, and also there was 2 overseers at the same time, so this is just a little bit skewed in one method, and now it's going to have to be full on. We're going to see a bunch of, oh dear, that was a bit of a misclick right there, but we're going to see a huge influx of mules. I'm assuming based on the energy that we're seeing here. Oh yes, we can drop it to 6 mules, but the thing is that Bridence is just sending out small wave after small wave, picking away at this small group of marines. RuSH knows that he needs to do something in order to get back into this game. He's on 3 bases, and I'm not sure if he's even seen a. Yeah, well, he hasn't even seen the 4th base coming in just yet. But these, just a couple of just really annoying Zerg bases just coming in here and just pecking away, just looking for openings, seeing what's vulnerable, seeing what isn't. And these mutalisks are going to pop down here, and they're going to take out these buildings one more time, going in with the overseers at the same time in order to see these widow mines. But they're just going to get rid of a number of buildings. And now here are the Zerglings are going to are caught slightly out of position, but they kind of know exactly where they're going. But the problem is they ran headlong into 2 widow mines, so they are just there for confusion. The problem is that there's a lot of confusion going on right now because there's 13 mutalisks are on the field here. I'm not sure if stim marines are going to be able to pick off too many of them, but yes, it looks like even, especially with, and it really helps out with the medevacs with them, so it's a pretty heavy marine army right now. But the problem there is that he's not doing anything with these engineering bays. Oh, Bridence was suddenly what happened, didn't see what happened with his mutalisks, maybe, just sort of ran them in, was worried about trying to make just a number more Zerglings, and he's now just moving a whole bunch of Zerglings around. I don't think he was quite ready for stim marines, but now the only issue is that these Zerglings are moving in here, and I think what I'm going to see is some banelings probably, but oh yes, all of these SCVs are moving down to the wrong area, and RuSH does see that, but he just can't get quite ready for that. Here come the banelings up here, and they're getting ready, and they got a stim out there, and they get boosted, and now these Zerglings move in at the same time. So it's just kind of attacking on 2 different fronts, just moving in the ground units around here to deny this 3rd base, and that's really going to hurt RuSH, who's down quite a bit on income at the moment. He's much lower than he should be. Definitely wants to get, the mules are definitely running out, and I think he's almost mined out. He's completely mined out there in the base, only a maximum of 12, and that's really just going to hurt it. And I believe that Bridence is very close to being up to 200 army. RuSH does not quite know what he's running in for here. But here comes the banelings, and another squad of mutalisks are running over there, but they're just going to kind of move around, and I think Bridence is trying to decide what he wants to do, whether he wants to come in here and try to do something about these units, or whether he's going to just let the ground units take care of it. Going to hit in with the banelings. No, he's moving the mutalisks in and around, going to try to do it all at the same time. So here comes some rolling banelings, but no, RuSH boosts them up. He lifts them up with the medevacs and then boosts out of there, but the mutalisks are going to chase them. I don't think they're any faster with that boost. The medevacs are now faster than the Mutalisks, but now he drops a couple of Marines, and the Marines who tried to keep everything off the medevacs are going to get sacrificed in order to help these medevacs survive, but now they're being reinforced by this number of Marines moving in here, but all Marines versus this number of Banelings, and there's still a couple of Banelings left. There's only one Marine left here in this bunker, and it's not going to be enough to hold this line, and that is going to be game. Very solid play by both players, actually. Just a couple of little tiny moves that could have been done a little bit differently and maybe just a little bit more behind the scenes. As you can see, RuSH has got a whole lot of gas right now and not quite so much minerals. So moving your units, being able to move your units in between being on gas or being on minerals, that is as a test of the sort of the masters and the grandmasters player. If you can sort of see that Bridence, he's floating a few minerals, but he's definitely well within his means. He's just taking, and he's about to take a 5th base down here because of the amount of workers that he's got. This is going to be mined out pretty soon, so you can just, you don't need to continue to making more workers, but if you time it just right, you can take your 5th base and move them all from your 1st base. Oh, I'm going to need a lot of water after this one. So leave me a comment down below, send me an email, ziggityzig@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter, at ziggityzig, please, if you have a funny, interesting, crazy, wacky, weird, cromulent replay that you want me to see, or you want to see casted by me. I suppose that's kind of what's going on. Then you can email it over there, and we'll catch some more tales from the ladder next time. Stay tuned.